wants to get an older child. Most time people want to get a baby. That was also surprising, but good because those are the children who need it the most, to be honest. 'Cause they don't ever get picked, unfortunately. But the stuff that she was saying about terminating the parent, like I was like, this is the verbiage. I've never had the discussion. It was so interesting. She was even like, if y'all get divorced tomorrow, y'all would have to, child support, all the, just
Everything,
breaking it down. Go
that's
ahead.
officially your right, because that's officially your child at that
Hmm.
point.
Hmm.
So all of the responsibilities, just like you had given birth to that child, like y'all had laid down in that bed together, produced that child. That's now once you sign up to adopt and um all of those things, then that's officially your kid, just like you had gave birth to that child yourself. So yes, if you get divorced, that child gets counted into the child support and anything else. And most people choose like a closed adoption.
Right.
Um, and I know there's a certain time frame with some adoptions, but with closed adoptions, I think as soon as the adoption is made final, then that's it. You can't go back on it. But I know with some adoptions, I think in the open adoptions, like the original parents, the biological parents have a certain time frame where they can actually change their mind.
Mm.
And I think it's like a
Wow.
year or so,
Okay. A year. Damn.
and the parents can actually change their mind about wanting to uh, they can go back and get their kid and just
That's
call
gotta
it
be
off.
a rough year, man. That's rough.
Mhm.
That's because can you
Mhm.
imagine an entire year? So much can happen if the child, wasn't loved. I'm not saying this is the case, but I'm saying if the child was not loved, didn't have these certain things, and then they move into this home for a year and have everything they didn't have before, and the same with the parents, and the whole family gets attached to them. You got holidays, going
All
on
sorts
trips,
of.
family stuff, tied in together like a blanket or whatever. And I just
Mhm.
think that's awful to be like, okay, on day the 11th month, oh, you know what? I want my kid back, and there'll be nothing they can do about it.
Right.
Do they have people have fought? Have people have fought against it? If they, if
I don't know, because those are preset requisites. Um and it's a roll of the dice. If the parents say they decided to not go through and change their mind, because people change their minds all the time, if the parents decide they want to change their mind and get their kid back, there's nothing that the adoptive parents can do, because they still within the time frame, because it's not final. Like the adoption is not final, I don't think, until that time frame has elapsed. So you could be on the 12th month and the 364th day, and the parent can come back out of the clear blue sky and be like, I decided I changed my mind and I want my kid back, and there's nothing that the adoptive parents can do.
I understand that, but something like a special case like that, I wonder could they go and still attempt to fight? Like this,
Mm-mm.
this,
No.
this. I mean, I'm pretty sure they can still try to fight. Not saying they're necessarily gonna win on it, but I'm pretty sure they can fight against that. I'll attempt to try. I don't know. I wouldn't mind looking into that just to have knowledge on that because just when I was listening to him speak, I said this is a world I don't know anything about, and that is just crazy. And it sounds like a lot of heartbreak to me with
It
adopting.
is.
Like
I
if you
think
could, oh God, it's awful.
I think it's rare that the birth parents will try and, at the 11th hour,
Hmm. Hmm.
try and change their mind and say, "Oh no, I don't want to do this." Um, but if it's done under duress, or the parent,
Right.
they decide they can't do it, or
Or if the other parent tried to come to the picture. I thought about like if the dad. So can they do that? Like say if it's a deadbeat dad and he was on drugs or something like that, and they came back all of a sudden saying, I want to be a father, to my kid. Oh, I found out he's adopted. Would he have nothing to say as well, or was there different stipulations with that?
well, he both parents have to sign off on their rights, unless
Okay.
like they give a certain time frame. Like if, say, the birth daddy is in the wind, uh, and the birth, if he's on the birth certificate and it's the parentage is proven that he's the daddy, then he might be able to come in at the last minute with a saying, "Hey, I didn't want to terminate my rights, blah, blah, blue, blue, blue. But
Right.
if, like, he not even on the birth certificate, it's his parentage has never been established in the first place. It's an uphill battle for him to be able to come in at the ninth hour and be like, oh, yeah, I decided I want to get to know my child. And again, that depends on if the actual adoption is open or not.
Gotcha.
Because if
Interesting.
it's a closed adoption, then you not even the child just is gonna just like disappear into thin air. You
Mm,
there's no information for you to have. Like the adoptive parents may have information on you, and they may decide at a later date to be able to give the information to the child, so the child can reach out to the see if the birth parent wants to have some type of relationship.
mm-hmm.
But if it's closed, then that's it.
Wow. That is
And
damn. I just listen to them talk. Like I said, it just sounds like a very heartbreaking situation. If you really want a baby, you already heartbroken. So eventually you had lost a baby, miscarriage, and you decided to go in that direction. It just seems like it'd be tearing your heart up because if these situations, I'm pretty sure they do happen. I think I saw
it
something where
it
the
happens
pregnant
more.
girl,
Right. It
she
happens
decided to get the
more
baby
often
back.
or not with women who are like pregnant with the baby. It's
Right.
like you
Mm-hmm.
going through the pregnancy with the
Yes.
not like the baby was already put up for adoption, like the girl gave birth and then the baby immediately went into the orphanage because she didn't want to have the baby.
Right.
That not is that is less likely to happen in that type of scenario.
Right.
But
Right.
if
Right.
you going along with the process with the mama and like
Yes.
the mama is pretty much basically selling her baby because you taking care of her and paying all her bills and all this
Yep.
other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then she decides at the last minute she don't want to give up her baby. Then what you gonna do? Ain't nothing you can do.
The thing about that situation that I don't like, because I know I've read about this. There are women who've done this, and it becomes
Over
a
and over
hustle,
again.
because
Mm-hmm.
they like, look, put me in the best hotels, let me ride around in this car, give me this money, pay all my bills, and will have their bill and don't work for 9 months, almost a year, not
Mm-hmm.
work or do anything, and they have financially been secured, and they've
Mm-hmm.
done this 3 or 4 times, and then all of a sudden say, "Oh, my baby back." And legally no one could do anything. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that is awful. There's no really no law against it, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
uh, if to me, if you're trending in that, you're the third child, and you're seeing you're trending the third month, she come get her kid back because after her baby, she gives herself a vacation. Oh, you gonna have the child about 3 months. I'm gonna still spend some of the money you gave me, put up there to get a money sum at the end of it, and then, but when I'm ready to get my kid back, I'll get my kid back and then do it again. That to me is crazy. Oh, that's too much on a body. Having the baby is so rough. There's no one to wear that be some kind of hustle. Are you crazy? Lord
Right.
have mercy. I just the stuff people do is amazing to me. But also to the heartbreak of seeing the parents, because a lot of time people look at it like this. If I go through with you with your pregnancy, it's almost like I'm pregnant, and I bonded with this child because it was in your belly. They want this as close to mine as possible situation, and it's like that's too much. Just like you said, maybe a 1 year old that's been in the agency is what I would do. You know what I'm saying? Because the baby that's small, it's just, and a woman carrying the baby are normal. It's carrying the baby. That's hard to detach. You are so, it's such a, I don't know, when you have a baby, you're so close to that. It's a bond, it's a journey. And so even though you might be financially struggling or who knows how the pregnancy actually originally happened, you still love that child and you still may want that kid back. You know what I'm saying? In those circumstances, I feel for both parties, the mother and the new mom. It's just rough. So that gives me the shivers because my kids get my nerves so badly. But I'm so happy I was able to have all three. Anyway, I want to go ahead and talk about Dr. Shannon and Nicole and Keisha. Um, and I kind of knew that when they started talking, as far as Nicole and Keisha to the doctor, that it's gonna be a lot of stuff that's gonna come out the surface. Because you already know, me, you talked about this before when the show first came on. You and I both said that it's always secrets in the family, especially if somebody had an affair or had a kid outside or whatever. And there's always issues in the family, whether it be cousins or the parents, and it's always stuff the parents don't tell the kids, so the kids don't know the whole story. It's always a mess. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure that when these two are talking to her. It's gonna be stuff coming out, just like when she said the side baby or whatever. You know how we say that. She
Mm-hmm.
didn't like that, and I didn't think about it. How the kid would feel being called that until she said that, Abby. So she was like, "I'm not the side baby. He had two girlfriends, or who, She clarified, and I was like, "Damn." I mean, I just didn't think about
Okay,
it.
so here's my question: is that
Okay.
true? Was he not married to the first girls, and he had an affair and got this other girl pregnant, or he just had two girlfriends that he's still cheating and ain't shit? But I had
No,
to
no, I
check.
get what you're saying. So what it is that Nicole's mom was married to him, I believe, and he had Keisha's mom like as a girlfriend. So I mean, either way, go like you said, it was still a cheating situation, and they're really close in age.
So
It was at the same time
I
it was
hate the
happening.
fact that she don't like it, but
Right.
words mean things, and side baby is what you was. Side baby is what you is. If that man was married to that other lady, and your mama got pregnant by him while he was married to that other lady, you was a side baby. I'm sorry, that's just what it is. I know you don't like it. I know
It's
you
an
don't
awful.
like
It's an
it.
awful word though, Ebby. It's awful. It's
Mm.
awful.
But
Because
it's true.
the baby don't have anything to do with it.
What
Let's
that
be
got to
clear.
do? What that got to do with anything?
No,
This
period. The baby don't have no. This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that what you're saying that the word does not mean. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is at the end of the day, just listening to her speak, the child don't have anything to do with it. And just I'm not saying I never really thought about it too much, but just listen to her as an adult. The stuff affects the kids more than anything. I just really think adults forget about that. That's why I was saying, just going back to the same discussion I said to you before when I both said that, as kids, we have know the story, might treat cousin funny, and don't know everything. At the end of the day, Uncle Frank did what he did, and he had a baby, and she felt the way about it. The child didn't know anything until Auntie. We figured out who that was finally. What is it? Auntie, I got it written down. Auntie Jackie is the one that finally came to her and was like, "Baby girl, this is your family," and da da da. And the part that I really want to know about it when she says, "Mom, we took a DNA test," and she's like, "Oh, your auntie wants to get to know you." So was there a question about? Was that
Sure.
the father? Like
Of course it was. Of course it was. The immediate thing was denial, because if he's married to somebody else, then he not copping the plea to the baby unless there's actual DNA proof. And before they bring that woman into their family, because the family is whole, so they legacy and all these things, and we this and that in high society, and we are the Bradentons, the blah blah blah. And before we bring you into the fold, hey friend, um, before we bring you into the fold, then they want
mm-hmm.
to know for sure that you, for sure, Uncle Frank's side baby. So a
Wow.
DNA test. Well, that's just what it is. I would expect nothing less from this type of family, that they would require a DNA test before they bring you into the fold, because they not just bringing in side babies all willy nilly. So it just is what it is. I understand that she hurt in her feelings. She feel like she not a side baby. Okay, you can have those feelings. You still a side baby, but it's just gonna be what it is, beloved. Now, if you're feeling salty about it and you have an issue with it, then go talk to your daddy about it, because it's his fault that you decide, baby. It's his fault.
Well,
He
she
the
used to.
one. He's
I
the
need to
one
ask you
who
a
couldn't
question
keep
though.
it together. Sure.
So you said because it's a type of family. So
Mhm.
my question would be, would another family just accept a child that may or may not be their uncle or brother, whoever it might be, baby? Could you go
I
ahead?
some it depends on the family. It just
Okay.
depends on the family. Um, I feel like I don't think most families is, if he had said, "Yeah, it's my baby," blah blah blah, they would have probably took his word for it
Mm-hmm.
and been like, "Okay, well, she's his baby, so that's what he says." Now he could have a mama that be like, "No, I need a DNA test because you be out of pocket and doing anything with anybody. So
Gotcha.
before we do X, Y, and Z, we need to figure out for sure, is this your baby or not?" And then some families, they'll take his word for it that this is your
Mm.
baby and blah 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 blah. It just depends. It just depends. It just depends.
Well, God, I said it to say because I know that there have been families. I'm not gonna be very
Listen,
careful.
I can
That
speak
look,
for less. Listen, I can
the
speak
the,
for
the,
my
the the baby,
family.
no, not my family, but the baby was not. You know what I'm saying? And then it was a problem later on. So, see what I'm saying? So I'm
Listen,
wondering, is
no,
that
I can tell you, my
okay?
family with my dad. We know that little girl don't belong to him. He had a vasectomy.
Mm,
He still claimed that little girl. And to this day, that girl thinks that she is my sister. She is not. She doesn't understand why we don't have a relationship
mm,
and we
mm.
don't consider her our sister because you're not, beloved. But that's not my story to tell. That's not my bubble to burst.
Right. Wow.
That's
Oh,
it's
she
your
doesn't
mind.
know. She
No,
doesn't know.
she doesn't know.
Oh,
She doesn't know.
wow.
And so she's under the mistaken impression that my dad is her dad. And some instances she's right because my daddy raised her.
Mm,
Because he was married to her mom. He left my mom and married her mom.
gotcha.
Off the strength of the baby was supposed to be his. However,
Mm, interesting.
that little girl looks like that woman's other two children that she had with her ex-husband. She
Huh.
don't look nothing like my daddy or me or my sister.
Right.
She looks just like her other brother and sister who her mama had with that other man. So listen, it's not again not my bubble to burst, not my story to tell.
Right. Right. Understood.
That little girl is not my sister. She's a side kid. Not our side, but she's a side kid. So it just depends. My dad didn't take a DNA test. He knew he
Hmm.
had a vasectomy. I think he knew in his heart and the baby wasn't his.
Gotcha. And
But
y'all never had a relationship with her at all. None of
mm-mm,
y'all. Has she
no, no.
tried?
She has a relationship with my dad's side of the family, like my first cousins, and they have reached out to me. I don't know why they think I'm the nice one. So
Mm, 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 mm.
what gave them that impression?
Wow.
And they was like, hey, um, they want to. She wants to have a relationship with us, and all of those things. She wants to have a relationship with us, and be sisters and all this stuff. I have a sister.
Oop.
You are not it. I don't know what
Oh,
you want.
wow. Wow.
And it was like, oh, Effie, don't be so mean. I'm not being mean. I'm being truthful. I have a sister. That little girl is not it. She's not my sister. We could do a DNA test tomorrow.
Oh,
It's
that
not
really would
going.
hurt her. That would hurt her.
It right. So I leave it alone. I listen. She I leave it alone. I'm her friend on Facebook. I like her little life events. She got married. She had a couple babies, I think now at this point. She graduated from college, all them things. That is lovely for you. But as to you being my sister, no ma'am.
Girl, that
No
is
thanks.
crazy. Not in a bad way, but I'm saying it's just interesting. Yeah, I don't even have it. But I mean, it'd be like that, like you say. It do be like that. Trust me, it do. So
And my daddy did, so I don't have to pretend to talk to you and like you, and we be a big happy
right.
family. So I don't. Once he died, any connection that you had between the two of us died with him.
So I bet the holiday gathering get kind of well, not for you, probably not awkward. Maybe
Absolutely not,
I'm
because
about to say not for
we
you.
don't have no connection. We don't. They're not a part of the family. So what family connect? Huh? No,
Mm-mm,
that's not how that works. She go be with
child.
her mama and her siblings and they family and they do whatever. They ain't got nothing to do with me and my mama and our family and all of that. That has nothing to do.
Mm.
When I go back home occasionally, to see that man in Virginia, I'll stop by my Aunt Jane's house, which is my father's only living sibling that's left. My Aunt Jane, I go by to see her, kiss her face, hug her neck, and holler at my first cousins who used to torture me as a kid, who are my
Oh
big
wow.
brothers. Those they're my big brothers. In real, like I didn't have
Gotcha.
actual
Gotcha.
brothers, but
Right.
they used to hold me down and let the spit come out their mouth till it almost touched my face and suck it back. It was horrible. Oh,
Oh Jesus, Jesus help! You sound like my mama. My mama child who was like
follow,
her cousins was
follow.
crazy. Oh my God, the stuff that she told me, I was like, no ma'am. I already know me and my cousin would have been coming to blows. I don't care, my girl. But so let's go ahead but you really should do a story time about that on your channel. That really is actually so intriguing. I'm not gonna lie to you. But anyway, I'm always trying to. I just think that'd
I
be good. That would be a good story time. It really would be. Um. So anyway, one part of the thing that Keisha did say. So they was like asking like what's been like coming to issue. The doctor just straight up about it. Keisha kind of to me shuts down a little bit even when she mentions the fact that she thinks maybe Nicole may have said some stuff behind her back, she said it trailed off. And I was like, interesting. Nicole mentioned there was a family trip that there was some things that didn't happen where she felt left out. So to me, Keisha's whole narrative, she's feel left out of things that are family and you're my sister, but things are not, aligned in that, and she just wants to feel included. That's really what I got from that. But I
Mhm.
think there needs to be more discussion because there's a lot of things Nicole probably doesn't even know how she feels. The fact that she's saying she's talking behind her back, and they was kids. As kids, it probably did happen. I mean, come on, let's be real.
Mhm.
Come on. So I mean, I can't imagine what you were saying as a kid about this situation right here, Lord Jesus. But I'm just
Mhm.
saying, I can't imagine, Lord, because you be talking noise like I'm not gonna do it, but just be nasty. Like I say, it. I don't know. I think they're going towards the goal. Having the conversation with a doctor is really healthy. I think this stuff's gonna come out. I think they are including her more in a lot of things. Even when they had the rodeo celebration, the first thing she said was, "Let's get a picture." Where's Keisha? Then she said, as soon as Keisha get here, we're gonna take a picture with everybody. I was like, girl, please. Because it's like Keisha mentioned that more than one time. She mentioned that when they had that first episode, she felt left out. The Braden business picture, whatever that was.
Mhm.
So I think that's all that it is. What you think, Mama?
I think that why the daddy not in the sessions? Because all of this is all of
Mm,
his fault. All of it is all
mm,
his fault. So it's the fact that I understand that the two girls need to come to some type of resolve,
right.
so their relationship will be easier with each other. But my question is the root of this whole problem. The whole reason that y'all are where y'all are in this situation is due to the daddy. Where's the daddy? Why is he not being held accountable for his actions that led to all of this in the first place? Why are we not holding his feet to the fire? Why is he not
Mm,
in the sessions so he can confront what he did and how because of what he did, these girls have the relationship that he has, and you need to be able to rectify and mend this situation. You know why? Because you're the adult and you're the one who couldn't control your penis to prevent this situation in the
uh-oh.
first place.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
therefore, you need to be sitting into the damn meetings with the psychiatrist as well, because it starts and ends with you, sir. All of this is your fault. And why nobody is holding this man's feet to the fire to take accountability for the actions that he did that caused this situation to be in the first place is baffling to me. How he get a free pass when all of this is his fault?
Lord
Because
Jesus.
he's the one that made the commitment to the wife to say it's gonna be me and you to the wheels fall off, and then he decided to take his wheel and go somewhere else to somebody's
He's
playground, and
real, Jesus.
and and, and ended up with a outside baby.
I do agree that Bubba really needs to be in the discussion. I think that's a really good call out because they're talking to each other, which I do agree that they're building a relationship and talking and they probably haven't talked in years. I think that's wonderful. But I do think because even she mentioned uh talking about the uncle, like well, she said that her dad's name. This is what Keisha said. She said maybe you were a better dad. Frank, she said she calls him Frank. She didn't call him Dad. She said maybe Frank was a better father to us. And then she mentioned not just to me, but to all his siblings. So I'm pretty sure all the siblings should be in there with Uncle Bubba or Frank Jr. Because, like you say, it's just a lot of hurt there. So anyway,
Mm-hmm.
they have the rodeo celebration, which is the end of the show. I love seeing Granny dancing. Made me think of my grandma. My grandma was a short black woman that had 16 kids, and baby was strong as I don't know what. Just seeing her just reminded me of her. I miss her. Nicole is talking about building these single family homes to Granny, and I want to talk about this really quick because she decided to talk to Granny about this. This is where you said you don't feel bad for Jermisha, and I know Jamisha had to stand up for herself, and I get that as well. But her or Jaquita had no idea. One beer in, lady, had no idea that Granny was having a discussion with Nicole and the aunties in there because this was all for the past 4 weeks has been Jermisha's baby. And so
Mm-hmm.
Nicole comes in and says, "Well, this is the idea I have." And Granny's like, "I like the idea." They called Nicole Oscarine Jr. You know what I'm saying? I think Oscarine does respect Nicole's opinion. But just like I didn't even know she was the broker, the actual Jamisha is. I think when the auntie said this, that Jamisha needs to get her own shine and stand up for herself or something like that to that effect. Because Nicole just will come through and just take over. What do you think about that?
Um, I okay. So here's what this is what I heard.
Hmm.
I don't know if I was just hearing stuff in my head. What I was hearing was that if Jamisha had just held her peace for a few minutes, she was finna get it, what she asked for in the first place. And she came in there like her boots was on fire, talking about what y'all in here talking about, what y'all da, 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 da. And girl, you almost shot yourself in the foot and lost the land, daughter. But just calm down. I feel like Nicole knew that the idea was good and had sound value to it. She just knows Nicole is the one who knows how to finesse it to make it feel like that it's your idea, even though it's my idea. I feel
And
like
she
Nicole is
changed
good
it
with
up the
that.
idea a little bit too. That's why I think she might have been upset. She didn't want to be the, what did she call her? She
The
didn't. She wanted.
project manager.
Yeah, she wanted to be heading it up. So
That
I
is
think you're
heading
right.
it. The project manager is heading it up.
But I think you are correct though, as far as her being the one that can be the smoozer. You're very correct on that. And she's also the oldest. But
Hmm.
you said about your sister as well. You said she'll do that takeover spirit situation. You have to tell her. So, like, which one is it though?
Both.
Okay, okay. I do think that Granny listened to her immediately because if you look at it, Jamisha had gone through everybody named Mama and all the auntie said all it was it took for Nicole to say it to the auntie to say it to Granny. Everybody was in agreement. She took Jamisha's idea and just changed it up, maybe to a way where Granny would accept it more because she was not that receptive to Jaquita's and Jamisha's idea about what to do with it. So
It felt like Nicole ain't do nothing but say the idea. It's not like she changed it up or put a spin on it or nothing. She said the same exact thing that Jamisha been saying. It's just Nicole is the one who said it to Granny for Granny to be like, okay, that sounds like a good idea.
so I don't know.
That's what it felt like to
I
me. That's
mean,
what I heard.
I just well at the end of the day, I feel like she just was. I think she mm, she's probably happy with the situation, but she's also not happy with it. I can tell because she don't feel like she has a voice. I think a lot of that's what that is. She don't feel
Hmm.
like she has a voice in the family. That's why she's trying to do her podcast. She's trying to find herself, and she worked 4 weeks on it. It took Nicole 5 minutes to get the idea approved, as you stated.
Hmm.
That would bother me. I ain't gonna lie, I'd be very irritated by that. I mean, I understand not doing it in front of them, like being happy, yes, thank you for the blessing. But behind the scenes, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if she's gonna come to Nicole about it or she'll leave it alone. I don't know. Mhm. But Jaquita be having me rolling, girl. She come up in there just because look, the whole situation with the beauty shop and Monet when she was like, "What's going on with the beauty shop?" Well, that's going to my mama. And she said, "Well, I'm in the beauty shop, baby. Let me tell you something about Granny." Granny was like, "Look, I'm for sure all this. I know I can barely
I
talk."
felt like Granny was like, "Girl, ain't nobody even talking to you. So what did you talk about, daughter?"
the way she shut the way she shut everybody there, girl, I was dying watching that. I was like, Granny was like, I can't hardly talk, but I don't want to hear all y'all, especially when when after the beauty shots discussion, they started all going back and forth. Uncle Frank came in, and Granny took the time and hit that table hard, and everybody was like, I don't know what she about to say, but it's probably gonna be shut up.
Probably. That's what it sounded like to me. Y'all done got on Granny nerves. That's what it sounded like to me.
Like y'all
The
doing way too
Oscarine was
much.
like, y'all doing way too much now. Y'all done got on my nerves.
I'm about to say veto this whole situation and get up out of here. Like leave me alone. That's my favorite part of the whole episode when she hit that table. I rewound it 3 times. Oh my
Lord have
god.
mercy, God.
Because it don't take nothing. I said, but that's crazy. That's my life was like that. My grandma being in the middle and all of us being surrounded by her. Like that's just family. So I know this next episode coming up is going to be deep because it's going to be a 30-year conversation of rumors and who did this, who did that, along with Miss Keisha sitting there and including Aunt Jack and everybody is going to be there. It's going to be, it's an overdue conversation, but it's going to get kind of deep. What you think? It's going to get heavy.
I don't know. We gonna see. If Uncle Frank was Bubba Frank, whatever, what the man name is.
It's Frank Jr., but it's Uncle Bubba. I think they call him.
To whatever his name is, if he not talking about what he did and apologizing to his children about what he did and how he did it, and trying to make it right so that his girls can build a path of relationship to each other, I don't want to hear it.
I hope that he does try to get some healing on. I really do. That needs to actually happen. I ain't gonna lie. Miss before we get to the end of the prayer. Oh, hold on, but before we do the prayer, hold on. Let me go ahead real quick to everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a membership. Who's in the background? Who's going off?
That's
Uh
my daughter.
oh, she
She's
sounds just like
halfway.
you. She sounds Abby Jr. So I'll just give everybody some free memberships in the chat. So check it out. I think Raven, Nick, Sean Unfiltered. Oh, you was here, Sean. Hey. Because if you in the chat or not in the chat, YouTube will bring you down, baby, quickly. If you just up in the chat chilling and not typing in the chat, YouTube will just randomly pick somebody. So I ain't got nothing to do with it. So shout out to Raven, Nick Shorts, Sean, DK, and Judy Driver. I say one day I'm gonna give somebody that don't like me. It's gonna be hilarious. If that may have happened already, I don't know. Anywho,
My God, on today.
before before I do want to say, y'all, really quick, come on down. Miss Reverend Abbott brings her way down to the pulpit, okay, to get the final word of the day on this Saturday. Y'all make sure y'all please check out her channel, Abbott Reviews. Check out her Cash App, 100%. And just check out Dina, who is not even here. Receipt Queen, we are trying to get her to 500 subscribers. I repeat, we're trying to get to 500 subscribers. Just the Receipt Queen all together. Follow her and subscribe, please, please, please. All right, Abby, if you made your way down to the pulpit, you ready?
Oh, yeah. All right. Oh, Jesus. If our hearts and minds are clear, you so silly. Dear Heavenly Father, it's again that we come to you as humbly as we know how, just thanking you and praising you for all that you are and all that you do, God. We're going to thank you for allowing us to have our little break from the show, and we now back to finish the rest of the season, dear God. God, we continue to ask that the episodes be good and that everybody act like they got some sense. And if you do these things, we'll be so careful to give you the glory and the honor that you deserve. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
All right.
Amen.
All right, y'all. That is the end of this episode. This episode was not like fire, but you tell that in between coming back, it really wasn't, it was all right. It wasn't bad. But on that note, shout out to Auntie with the twerk. We're gonna twerk our way out.